everyone. I'll give you guys a minute to get in here if you guys are waiting. See if we can get some people in here. Who's in here?
A bunch of people. A bunch.
Hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me okay? Give me a number one. Am I getting ones?
They said everybody was talking about you on Prepper Nurse 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they can hear you.
Okay, so I can't read the comments. My wife will probably get them and call them out as it goes. This is an 8 o'clock update, and the hurricane is going to come directly over Dequincy, which is the town I'm in. And right now it's actually bearing 150 mile per hour winds. And there's a potential for it to get stronger. It's almost to the coast, probably. I would say the outer rain bands are already at the coast. And I've gotten a lot of people that have been on me and wanting me to leave. So we've gotten our house all boarded up, and I did a lot of calling today as well. And the next door neighbor is high up in the Lake Charles Police Department. And his plans at first were to stay in his house as well, which is across the street from him. And he changed his mind. And he's not going to stay there. He's going to go into a sheltered area with the detectives in Lake Charles. Lake Charles is going to catch him pretty hard too. And all the things that I'm seeing, it just doesn't look good, guys. I really wanted to stay, but I got to take care of my family. And we made the decision to leave. Made the decision to leave late, but we're heading west and towards Houston. We're gonna get on Highway 90 and we're gonna head up to Atascocita, and then the next town is Houston, so we'll be close to there. We've gotten a potential for a motel room over there. We plan on going back. We plan on going back early. I'm sorry I can't look at you guys because I'm driving. We got everybody with us, the dogs. We'll give you an update on the chickens. My first, it's been a rough day. I'll tell you that. Really rough. Today I actually, our plans were to have that kennel all the way in the back of the garage. And when this thing kept increasing, I started worrying more. So we do have a 35-foot sunroom in our home, which it's only a cement floor. So we spent time taking that kennel apart and getting it inside the house. So 24 hours of being in the house is better than being in that kennel outside with the wind and everything else. They're so fragile. I just don't want anything to happen to them. So they're well fed. They got a lot of water. We're just not there, and they'll be protected from the wind.
And the baby chicks too.
The baby chicks too. We got the brooder in there as well. We cleaned it up before we put it in, and we put the new flakes and got all of that set up. And we also managed to catch all the 5 kittens and the mama cat and the 2 that are older but still kittens. Not kittens, but baby cats we call them. So all of those guys were kenneled up. They're given food, and they're just going to have to deal with the kitty jail for tonight. We just couldn't take them with us, but they're with the chickens, and I think they'll fare well. There's just a lot of talk about the destruction of homes. We are worried about our home. At 150 mile an hour winds, that's something that nobody wants that to deal with that. That's something that's out of out of my league. I know I can handle a Cat 3. My home is really strong, but I just don't know about these higher winds and the potential for it to get higher. Now, when watching the NOAA radio, they were saying it was going to hit the coast. It's at 150 miles now with potential of getting bigger. And once it hits the coast, it'll rapidly decrease. But that's just an unknown that I don't want to be involved in or have my family subjected to. So it took some talking, and we got things arranged, and we just grabbed a few things and left. We did bring a chainsaw with some fuel, because it's an easy ride there, because right now the traffic is very, there's nothing. You know, most people have already made their evacuation. But we're ahead of the storm, so I think we're fine. It's traveling at about 15, 16 miles an hour. They're still expecting high winds in Atascocita, Texas. So we'll make the determination while we're monitoring it if we're just going to stop there or keep going. Yeah, this has been and I'm sorry that I didn't post a video earlier, but it has been a day. Anybody commenting?
Oh yeah, everybody's just saying how glad they are that you got out, and
yeah, thank you guys.
Praying for us and the animals, the house.
Yeah, I'm praying for everyone, because this is bad. This is real bad. We've gone through Rita, and I've said it before. My home is going through Rita. We evacuated, but we didn't even waste no time when we went. We didn't expect to stay, and we didn't even board up any windows before we left. And when we came back with Rita, and that was it got up to a Category 5, but then it ended up going down to a Category 3. So when it hit Sulphur, Louisiana, that's where my house was. It didn't even damage any windows. We didn't have my storm door wouldn't latch closed, so I lost a storm door and one shingle on top of the roof. So I knew I would have had no plans at all to leave if it would have been a Cat 3. But with all uncertainty on this go around, and with a lot of people giving me a call, Mr. Tom has called me a few times, very concerned. Les with Homestead DIY with L&T's called me, and Gloria White has called me. I probably had about 30 or 40 people call me. And we just, with the forecast, we just didn't want to stay there. So that's what we're doing. We're hoping that the house, and praying that the house...
JT just tuned in, and she wants to know what's happening.
Oh, JT, hi, how are you? I'm sorry that I just pulled this live up. My plans was to do a live during the hurricane, and I would have if it would have stayed at a Category 3. And if you're watching it, I'll kind of give you a recap. It's at 150 mile per hour winds right now, and there's a potential for it getting higher. And the eye is projected to go directly over our town. So we have decided to leave. A little late, granted, but we wasn't ready to leave, but now we're leaving. We're ahead of the storm. The rain bands are starting to come through, and every once in a while there's a drizzle on the windshield where we are, but none of the strong winds or gusts or anything like that is in our path. The traffic's clear. So JT, we've gotten the chickens inside the house and the kennel on a cement floor inside the sunroom, away from everything. Just didn't want to jeopardize them. Outside with the wind, since they're such fragile chickens, and the little chicks. We're trying not to have any loss of any animals on the property, but human life is more important than anything. So We're going to say our prayers. They got food and water to drink. The cats were all caught and kenneled up. They'll have to deal with the kitty jail for a little while, but they're all inside. We set our alarms. Our cameras are on. We'll be able to monitor until they lose internet and all that stuff, which is highly expected soon. Once this storm hits, all things change. So I figured I'd do a live now before we got to that point. Not y'all were out there worried about us, and I've been stressing that I wanted to do something earlier, but I apologize. I just did not have time to do anything. It was all hands on deck at home. I got a wonderful group of kids and a wife. Everybody participated, and everybody had a task and a mission to do. Me and Devin was completing the closing up of some windows that we did. We was going to wait until now anyway, but then it ramped up when we had to get that kennel apart and get them chickens in. It was a lot of work. It was intense. So, anything else? Anybody's? And I can't read the comments, guys. I apologize. It's my second live, but I'm driving, and this is more important. I want to keep my eyes on the road.
No, I mean, everybody's just glad you left.
And I really thank y'all for tuning in and watching, for sure. So I think we're going to wake up to a new world.
Oh, they want to know if the water's going to be a problem at home.
Okay, so the storm surge, last I heard, was 19 feet. I've even heard a storm surge of 20-something feet. Where my home is, there is no threat for the storm surge. The storm surge normally, when Rita came through, it was a 18 to 20 foot storm surge, I think, when it hit the shore and actually wiped out the entire Holly Beach, all the camps, the houses, everything. It just looked like a goat. It looked like everything was level. There was no houses to be found. So with that in your mind, you think about, hey, should you stay or not? But normally it stops at the I-10 corridor, and I-10 corridor is almost in the middle of Sulphur, Louisiana. But the flood surge then, the storm surge then got up to Hackberry, and that's about as far as it's going to go.
Someone said they're hearing it goes 40 miles in.
So
we're farther than that.
Yeah, so Sulphur's probably, I would say.
We're 110 miles from Holly Beach.
Are you sure?
109 minutes.
How do you know?
Or miles. I can't remember because Kaylee looked it up today. 109 minutes or miles. I can't remember what she told me. I think miles.
I don't think it's 109 miles, but you can Google it, Dequincy, Louisiana to the Gulf, to Holly Beach, Louisiana, and that'll give you an idea how many miles I am. I just really can't think about that right now to know. But it's we're far enough away that we do not have to worry. I even called a few people as well, some officials in our area. And Dequincy is actually the highest point in the parish also. And I don't even think Sulphur will catch any storm surge, and that's about 18, 20 miles from where my home is located.
Okay. Someone just said, and Les repeated, that I-10 at the border, they're saying is closed.
I-10 at the border? Why? Flooding?
I don't know.
Okay, so somebody said I-10 at the border of Texas and Louisiana is closed. We're traveling the back roads of Highway 12, so we're hoping that they can close that. So guys, if you can find out about that, I'd greatly appreciate it. We are...
Gloria said from Cameron to our house is 77 miles.
Okay, so Gloria White, that's with us today, said it's 77 miles as a crow flies from my house to Holly Beach. So we're well away from the storm surge. You know, we'll have typical, the raining, the flooding in the yard, or this and that, but it's nothing because the drainage is really good. The only concern is the high winds, and we're hoping that this thing hits the coast and then it just starts dying down rapidly and it ends up getting a Cat 3. If it comes through our area as a Category 3, the eye, then I'd feel a little bit more better about my home. But if it's a Cat 4 or a potential Cat 5, we may come back to nothing. But we're hoping that that's not the case. So
I want to know where you're heading.
Okay, so we're heading west. When you go through Dequincy, you can get on Highway 12. And Highway 12 takes you west into Texas. Highway 12 ends at Inviter, Texas. And we'll jump on the interstate at that point. And we're going to travel to Beaumont. That's our plan. And get to Beaumont and take Highway 90 at Beaumont. And then we're heading north through a town called China. We're going to head through there. We're going to get to a town called Atascocita, Texas, which is around close to Houston, about 15-20 minutes from Houston. And we'll monitor the weather, and if we have to move farther, we'll keep traveling west. But that's the plan. But it'll get us out of the eye. That's our main concern, is getting us out of the eye. Someone has located a motel, and I'm not sure if it's in Atascocita. I guess I'll be getting the address. Then I'll be able to let you guys know exactly around where we're going to be.
Someone said the Cajun Navy is stationed at Coshada.
Cajun Navy stationed at Coshada. Good. Yeah, those guys are absolutely amazing. They help everywhere. They're Louisiana born, and it's just a whole lot of group of volunteers with boats. And the last storms that came through Port Arthur, Texas, they helped with a lot of evacuations in that area, and got a lot of people out that were stranded. So Port Arthur has a lot of pumps that they are supposed to maintain for flooding, and something happened that the pumps weren't working, and it really flooded that town, and a lot of people lost their homes. And they were there, so a lot of boats were getting in the water and actually saving people from their homes, saving them off the rooftops and everything else. So that's great. Anybody else?
I'll just saying I'm glad you're leaving, that you made the right decision.
Yeah, thank y'all. I think we did make the right decision. A lot of people were stressed about us staying. When it's far out in the Gulf, you hope that this thing turns away from you, and you hope this thing is not going to be as big as it's supposed to be. I mean, you hope that it's going to be a small storm, or Category 2 and Category 3, but it's not the case on this one. So then you have to make a decision for your family, and that's what we did. So we're hoping that we're actually in Vidor, Texas now. So we've gotten into Texas, and we're past the I-10 and Louisiana border. We didn't have any issues here, so I don't know what I-10 is going to be doing, if we can get on or not in Vidor, hoping so. We had a lot of, they just had a big Greyhound bus or something, so more than likely that's evacuees, because they were busing a lot of people out. And 2 of them are already past me. I guess I'm not driving fast enough for them. Maybe I should follow them. I feel a lot better even though I'm in Vidor. But they say Vidor, Texas is going to take a big hit as well. And I have a brother that lives in this area, and they had a really big storm that came through here, and that hurricane sat over and stalled. And they got waist deep of water on their property. When you get these floods like this, nothing works. Sewer doesn't work. So all the sewer pumps were down, the water was down, and they stayed without power for 2 weeks.
They want to know if it was raining right now.
Okay, so I got a slight drizzle on the windshield. That started here. That's not any hard rain, thank God. I think we're ahead of it for now. My fear was leaving at the time I did that I'd get engulfed by this storm. So we're really hoping that we can make enough leeway to get to where we need to be or stay in front of it. And there was a lot of tornadoes that are spawning already. I think there was one that spawned in Baton Rouge and other areas, I think. So that you can't run from, my friends. So if it comes over your house, well, it is what it is. And we're hoping that that's not going to happen. So that was one of our fears and concerns too. If it did happen, well, there's nothing that we could do about it.
Okay,
At least.
Sorry. Someone said, what do you decide to take with you when you do a last-minute evacuation? A 72-hour kit? Question mark. I'm new to this. Sorry.
Yes, we have. I don't plan to. I don't plan to bug out my house and take off and leave. And I always plan to bug in. But with that being said, we all have our own bags. We all have our bug out bags just in case, which has all the essentials in them. And knowing what this situation is, an event that we're not having to, we know where we're going. I do have my bag with me, which has all the essentials that I need. We keep a change. We're going to be back in the morning at probably 7 o'clock. Curfew ends like at 6, so then we're going to try to beat that and get out of there and head home. And that's where everything else is. So we do have essentials with us. Also, I got the chainsaw, fuel, and I also got the bar oil. That way, it's going to be clear sailing all the way wherever we're going. But when we come back, there's going to be a lot of trees down. So if I fall into a situation that I need to cut a tree to move it, I've got me a chain as well. So that chain's with me to where we can pull it out. I got a Suburban, a 4-wheel drive Suburban, so it shouldn't be an issue.
CFP said he was glad that you were able to get out.
Thank you, CFP. Glad to see you, brother. Really appreciate it. Joe, I don't think we was going to hang in there for this one. We were going to hang into it. If it was a Cat 3, I had no worries. I knew my home could withstand a Category 3. But it's just too much unpredictable right now with the way that this storm keeps increasing. The millibars were down to 940, and it was 945 or 9, and then it was 946, and then it went up to 947, which kind of said, well, okay, well then maybe things are changing. But then it dropped to 940, so it's continuing to strengthen. And once it hits that coast pretty soon, it shouldn't be much longer. It's going to start dropping in intensity, but I'm not going to be around to mess with it. I'd rather deal with seeing 80-mile-an-hour winds than 130, 140 mile-an-hour winds with gusts. Because it's the gusts that you got to worry about as well.
Tell Gloria where you are again. She wants to find the road conditions.
Okay, Gloria wants to know where I'm at. I was in Vidor, Texas. I'm on I-10 traveling west. And I am almost to Beaumont. I'm getting to the outskirts of Beaumont, Texas. I'm almost to the Beaumont Bridge. Once we cross over that, we get into Beaumont, then we're going to turn in Beaumont on Highway 90, which is not too far from here. And then we'll be making a right, and we'll be heading north. And then we're going to go through a small town called China, and we're going to get to Dayton, Liberty, I think. And then we'll end up in Atascocita, which, Les, if you can help me out, I can't remember which highway that is. 1960 maybe, I think is what brings you into Atascocita, if I'm not mistaken.
CFP said he tried to call you, but figured you were busy or bunkering down or something.
Yeah, I apologize, CFP Joe. I just sorry I missed your call, brother. You can call me once we get off this live. I sure like to talk to you.
Les said 1960, yes.
Okay, Les said 1960, so from Highway 90, we'll go to 1960 into Atascocita. I do have another friend that's advised that we could stay at his house in Houston. But we got a motel, so we'll probably end up doing that. Because we don't, once we get there, it's probably going to be 10:30, 11 o'clock. And once we do, we'll get another forecast. Sorry, guys. I apologize. Fell off the holder. Can y'all still see me?
Yeah, I can see you, but not real. I mean, you weren't even or whatever.
Maybe I can put it back on this thing. Oh, I'll just hold it. Are we back?
Les said, everyone called him, LOL.
Are we back online,
No,
guys?
I don't think so.
You press that 3 times.
I'm seeing people's comments.
Okay, well, wait, let me see. Yep, you're there.
Okay, are we back? Everybody can hear me? I'm sorry. When you go down I-10 and you get to the Beaumont line, there is an area that, I forgot about that, shuts down. So we're exiting off to get on Highway 90, heading towards Liberty now, so we're getting away from Beaumont. Absolutely. There's not a lot of cars on the road at all. Excuse me. So it looks like everybody's has already settled in where they're going to be, and if they've stayed home or if they are driving. I mean, if they are evacuating, they're where they need to be, except for me.
Someone said there's a guy in Sulphur who won't leave. He's streaming live, playing video games in his living room.
Oh my gosh.
That would
Well, so there is a lot of people. I seen that someone who said that. Corey.
Yeah.
Hi, Corey.
Corey Resner, I think.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people in Sulphur and Moss Bluff and Dequincy that they're not going anywhere. There's actually, when I was talking to the detective, we also have one neighbor that lives next door to us. You know, 2 houses down, and this was a neighbor with the dogs that came and visit my chickens one day. Well, he lives in a metal building, but it's not anything big. It's like a metal barn, and he's staying. And so my friend tried to warn him to leave, but he said he's not leaving. I do have a friend that in Moss Bluff that was telling me that his whole neighborhood, there's like 5 or 6 homes in that one dead-end street where he lives. They're all staying. They went through Rita. He said he's going through this one too. He's not leaving. So we're praying for all of those guys, anyone that did stay home, because they're about to get a big awakening. And if you've ever dealt with any of these hurricanes and rode one through, I have. They're nothing fun at all. It's the scariest time in your life, and you will never forget it. And it will probably change your mind that you'll never stay home again. But you know me, Um, I almost stayed home, I'll tell you that now. Ugh. So it looks like Beaumont, I do have gas stations, gas pumps open in Beaumont, Texas. I think we're good. Maybe I ought to get some fuel, top it off some more.
I think that from here on out you'll be able to find gas stations. I don't know.
Yeah.
Of course, said I wanted to give him money, but I don't have it either. The guy said he didn't have money because he had just paid his bill, so he couldn't afford to leave.
Oh, wow, Corey. Well, that was very nice of you for sure. And I actually had a subscriber, Kathy, has contacted me, and her sister lives in Dequincy and is staying. And they had an issue with a generator. And so I went to, was able to get in touch with her. They gave me the contacts, and I went over to her house. And they had a generator that wasn't working. And we really worked hard on trying to get that generator running by even cleaning the carburetor bowl out. But the deal was, this generator was bought by one of the family members, and it sat in a box since right after Rita. They bought the generator, so she acquired it after some time. Well, they tried to get it working, and Mr. Les helped me and determined that the valves were more than likely stuck by the sound it was making, so we couldn't get it running for her. And I did tell her after the storm, she was supposed to contact someone to get it, to try to bring it in, but I have a friend that that I've already given my generator to actually use, so I'll be checking up on her when I get back. She thought that I was staying as well, so she doesn't even know. I haven't called her. So I'm hoping that they're going to fare well over there.
My screen is doing that. I can hear you. I mean, people are so commenting.
My wife's screen is looking like it's buffering. So can you guys still see me? Am I still live? She's getting the comments, but she's not getting my video.
I am. It's just turning. Yes, they can see.
Good. I think we're going to get fuel. We're going to turn here and get fuel.
Yeah, someone said get gas where you can.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going to be up ahead.
We have 22 people. 222 people.
So y'all going to have to wait a minute. I need to get fuel.
You can take it and take that one.
Maybe I can do that. I wonder if I can switch to camera view.
Yeah. Double tap it, I think. Marla said not live for me. Black screen and buffer.
Oh no, I hate that.
So far.
I hope you guys can see us. With the wind starting to get a little, I'm watching the red lights. Let's see if I can turn this. It's probably not working. Hey Rudy, Alaska Prepper. Nice to see you here, my friend. We are stopping to get gas on the outskirts of Beaumont, and the wind gusts are starting. See some signs flying around. So I don't even know. They may not even have fuel.
Oh yeah. Alaska Prepper said all the guys hoping they're all way out fast.
I'm not sure if they got fuel or not. A lot of places are going to be out of fuel.
Okay,
Waiting
Marla
for
can see you
cashier.
now.
Huh?
Marla can see you now. She went
I
out
don't
and came
think
back.
we have. They don't have fuel here. They're out.
No, they have fuel, but there's just certain ones that are more full.
They're out. Oh, there's regular, so we may be able to get some. Well, let's see here.
Someone said, Laura Z said, I just started watching your channel and how you have been prepping figures.
Laura, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, the wind is blowing. We're gonna see if we can get some fuel. And I'll show you guys once my son gets out in the car. He's gonna help me fuel. I'll show you the wind. Yeah, it's like a ghost town. There's a guy on a bicycle, just sitting. Guess just waiting. Well, we're about to see, my friends, if we're getting fuel. Hold on. They might be out too. Uh-huh. Say hi, Zoe.
Hi. We say like
Well, guys, I think they are out. Let me put this back in here. And cancel. No fuel. There was 2 signs on the super unleaded, but there wasn't a sign on the other one. So we are not. And if you can see this guy over here sitting, he's just sitting on the cement on his bike. And everybody, say hi everybody. We're gonna keep rolling. Oh, well darn.
Someone, although I don't remember who, I passed it up. Someone asked if you needed money, but have them thank you for who it was.
Thank you very kindly, whoever offered for money. We're fine. We just need, I guess when we get up to Dayton and Atascocita, they'll have fuel. Which Les has also said, we'll get you fuel before you go home. So that's not going to be an issue. But everything's closed here, and it's starting to get gusty in Beaumont. I got to keep
How much
going.
you got in the tank? See if people want to know.
I have over, well, 3/4 of a tank. I can go 298 miles. It is definitely, let me see if I can turn this around. I'll show you what it looks like. Can they see that?
My screen is not working right now.
Okay, so everything, the wind, the lights. You see the lights kind of moving. So it's getting a little windy here. So it's probably already windy in Dequincy. I hope that guy goes somewhere as he's just sitting on that step at the gas station all by himself. The gas station's closed.
I was shocked at how windy it was.
Yeah, I was shocked too how windy it was. It's like it just started. Anybody watching it, I can't check it right now to actually see what the weather's doing or where those bands are. This is probably the outer rain bands or whatever. Devin, are you watching the weather?
I haven't seen anything about it.
I put my wallet right here. Where is it?
That's your cord right there, so probably
Zoe, check on the floor. My wallet fell off the console. Oh no, what did you do? You just dropped all my cards out of it. Yay. Gotta love that.
That can't be very good.
Well, that can't be very good.
Very good. Stressing me out, love.
There's a car, and it might be a police officer.
Someone said the
Just
weather
sit.
channel says 45 miles per hour on the Charles.
Okay, so yeah, that's the outer bands. Chewy, be quiet.
I don't know how many cards you have. They're done. Okay, wait, it's
Well, just double check, shine the light. I have one dog getting very, very anxious right now.
Okay, Chewy, sit.
So yeah, we're really worried about this storm. We really are. And I'm glad I made the decision to leave, to get my family out of harm's way. At least out of the eye of this storm, because the eye is coming straight over Dequincy. And so it'll hit us before it gets to Dequincy. And we're hoping that it dies down before that point. But
He was fine.
anybody talk?
Someone said, does Chewy need a pee? No, he's just nervous right now.
Well, when we got in, Chewy, when he got inside the truck, he was doing that. And it's just, he gets anxious and he just starts that, and then he calms down. We're not going to stop right now. We're going to wait before we, they're really good at holding it. So they're just going to have to wait until we get a little farther down the road. We brought food with us as well. A 5-gallon water container, one of those blue water containers. We got that as well. Our clothing, the chainsaw, the fuel, the bar oil for the chainsaw on our return if we have an issue to try to get home. Then
Alaska Prepper said, have a good evening, everyone. Be safe and many blessings to all of you and your family.
AP, thank you. We really appreciate it for you joining. I'm about to end this for now so I can keep driving. There's not much more right now I can say. I can give you a live when I get there, when I get more information. Out of there. All right, guys. Well, we're going to end it. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us. I know you guys got something to do. So if you wouldn't mind, if y'all tell me where you're from, that'd be great. All right.
Georgia,
Georgia,
Oklahoma,
Oklahoma.
Florida, Virginia,
Awesome.
Ohio.
Awesome.
Oh, it goes so fast.
It's rolling fast.
Ohio.
It's my second time, so
San Diego.
San Diego,
Florida,
awesome.
JT.
Central Florida, JT.
That's where I want to be. Indiana,
Indiana.
Mississippi,
Give me some
Georgia.
names.
Melanie's from Florida.
Delaney, hello.
Amy, Virginia.
Amy, Virginia.
Beth is from
How are you?
Illinois.
Beth from Illinois, thank you for joining.
Then Pennsylvania. I would do this all day. I mean, there's so many. Alabama, Florida, Texas. Everywhere.
That's awesome. That's
North
awesome.
Carolina, you name it, they're all here.
We started this channel, and I owe all to you guys, man. I really do appreciate it. I was excited when I had 20 subscribers, so to actually see where it's at now, I couldn't do it without y'all. I was hoping that I would provide some kind of content that you guys would enjoy, so we really do appreciate it, really do. I got a whole lot more to come, so let us get through this, and we'll walk you through the way when I get home. We'll show you what the property, how that fared, and hopefully that'll be tomorrow morning early. Once this storm gets through, we're hoping to see a smaller category. If I didn't have to drive, I could read y'all's comments and talk, so I apologize. Thank you. We're definitely going to try to stay safe for sure.
Praying for you.
Thank you. Thank you for the prayers. All the prayers will help. And we'll talk to you guys later. I'll try to figure out to turn this thing off. And we're going to catch you guys on the next
Someone
one.
wants to know when you're going live again.
Who is this?
Steve wants to know when you're going live again.
Steve. Maybe once we get stopped.
Stevie, maybe it's a Stevie.
Once we get stopped to our location, possibly. Then I'll also do a live. I'm not too keen on how to make these, set it up for a time so everybody can get ready for them. So I'd love to do that. I'll try to go live later if we start seeing some winds over here, and kind of show you where we are, and you can compare that to how far we went from home.
Gloria said you can call 511 for road conditions.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Gloria. 511 for road conditions. Well, so far there's no traffic. I don't expect any issues as of now because we're almost to China, Texas, that is. And then from there, that's a real small town. And that's actually where my brother actually went. He's gone to his son's house. They have a really big brick home that they're safe. So he's not in Vidor, Texas. So he's going to be away from that big part of the storm. I just didn't want to bore you guys talking and y'all are ready to get off. So
You can update a little soon.
yeah, and we'll update. I'll send another live update soon once we get to where we're at. Thank all of you guys. I really appreciate all of you, and hope all of y'all well. Hope y'all stay safe, and always remember to prepare for the unknown.